A change in state law left some local renters to fall through the cracks of the very system designed to protect them from deplorable conditions. Our Taking Action reporter Jackie Calloway questioned both city and state officials as to why Tampa's code enforcement officers no longer respond to calls for help from tenants in large apartment complexes.
No one should have to live with this.
Sewage water coming up, feces, paper, whatever.
Sewer water bubbled up through the tub, the toilet, and spilled out onto the floor.
What color is that?
Red.
Kayla Hudson says she and her children waited 3 days on maintenance to come. Then she turned to Tampa's code enforcement office.
They referred me to the state office, and the state office referred me back to the code enforcement.
Kayla claims a week went by before a state inspector showed up.
That bothers me because I don't want to see any citizen in the city of Tampa living in those conditions.
Sal Ruggiero, who heads up Tampa's code enforcement department, worried what would happen after the city discovered a change in state law. It transferred code enforcement duties involving large apartment complexes from local municipalities to Florida's Department of Business and Professional Regulation.
I thought there was going to be a disconnect and to get into problems.
We combed through city records and found a dozen other families who struggled to get anyone to respond to their complaint in recent months.
And all of a sudden there's a hole and water's dripping through.
Ashley Kittle among them.
And they started giving me the runaround.
A state inspector showed up 2 days later, but not before both Ashley and her neighbor spent hours on the phone bouncing between Tampa's code enforcement and DBPR.
When I couldn't get help, I was getting very angry and upset.
Tampa's legal department says the city has no choice but to adhere to the changes laid out in Chapter 509.
So the state would be doing all inspections on the larger apartment dwellings for minimum housing standards.
But I checked with code enforcement in 5 other local cities. None plan to stop responding to complaints over minimum housing standards.
If there wasn't a law change, we can respond immediately.
I emailed DBPR repeatedly, but a spokesperson refused to go on camera. The state confirms it has not hired new inspectors to handle code complaints. Adding to the confusion, DBPR failed to update its website, which still states it does not enforce apartment maintenance, including bug infestations, sewage backup, and electrical problems.
When they switched things around, it made it very, very difficult for me to even find someone to help me.
City officials say they've begun routing complaints involving a lack of response to DBPR's Tampa office. Meanwhile, city resources once used to respond to apartment dwellers are now being focused on neighborhood code issues. In Tampa, Jackie Calloway, Taking Action for you.